Let's just whack it, mate. Who's going to win the Tour?
I know it's the last one, and I know like we've spoke about it a lot, but it's not something I'm really thinking about. Ends up probably crying in Paris. We've been so used to riding for GC, haven't we? And yeah, now I think we just got to be a bit different.
How can Jonas beat Pog?
Yeah. What's occurring, Bat?
What's occurring? Brought to you by Continental Tyres, main partner of the Tour de France. You're at the Tour now. How was the travel? You had a delay to start. Always a nice way to start the Tour. How's life, mate?
Yeah, air traffic control on strike, mate. But luckily, it was only we got on the plane, and then it's like the pilot comes on, and it's just like, oh yeah, a bit of a delay, and then it was in French at first, so I wasn't really listening. Everyone else is just like, oh, putain. I was like, oh no, what's this now? I take my headphones out, and then, it was like hour 15 delay or something. So it was all right. But tomorrow all the flights are cancelled, so Sarah and Max were going to come out. They were going to come to the presentation, had some nice tickets for them. So
PJ. PJ.
Not sure about that, mate. But
come on.
So yeah, that's kind of annoying. But anyway, hopefully they get up here somehow. Like, it's just like, yeah, a bit of chaos now with flights.
What's that, 10-hour drive?
Definitely won't be driving it, yeah. It's like that fast train, but it goes from like Aix-en-Provence rather than Nice. Like going from Nice is just, you're in the mountains, it takes all day, I think, basically. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens there, but...
Yeah, last time I saw you, you were struggling through the Swiss mountainside, and now you're like the Tour. All healed up, ready to rumble?
Yeah, all good, mate. It was more... more precautionary to get better quicker anyway, but had a few days off and then started riding. It was okay. Just like hamstring calf a bit tight at times, but it's, the knee's all fine. So yeah, just stay on top of that. At least here now is easy, innit? You got physio massage every day. So
3 weeks all inclusive.
Exactly, mate. So had my pre-tour chop this morning as well. Don't know if you can tell, but you should have seen it before, mate.
You pull it off, mate. You pull it off. I'm not gonna give you any more hair shit. I think we've had enough of that over the years, haven't we? But mate, I think the first point to call here before we try and dig a bit deeper into the race is the INEOS lineup. Like, there's straight off the bat from me, from the outside, the exclusion of Ben Swift seems a bit of a wild one. With how good he's been this year. The inception of Sam Watson. I like the move, British champion. But a bit of a surprise. Just briefly, what about the INEOS squad, mate?
Yeah, so Swifty was in the running for it, but then he crashed at Nationals. He had a small fracture, and then he's sick as well. So I think the gods didn't want him to come, basically. And then Sam was a late inclusion to that. Sam's obviously been riding really well. Then he won the Nationals. He's had a great year so far. So, old Skip, Sam Watson will be here, so that'll be good. And then obviously for the rest, you got Carlos.
That's his first tour, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I think he's done one Volta, maybe. He did the Volta when I did it a couple of years ago. So, yeah, it'll be a big step up for him. It'll be a lot to learn and stuff. But the first 10 days of the race is his terrain, really. Him, everyone on this list. But, yeah, Pipo,
Laurence.
Axel, him, Connor... they're sort of like the flatter racer road sort of guys up and down in northern France. So, those boys, obviously Pipo in the TT is going to be a big sort of push for that. But yeah, Carlos is going to lead the team. He's confident. He had a good camp in Tenerife. Dauphiné was sort of, wasn't great, wasn't bad. But yeah, apparently he's had some good altitude top up now. It was mad on the plane actually coming here. It was all the Nice lot there. So, Jorgensen, Pog, Eddie. It was the crazy Italian dude who's always organising that thing in November. Trentin. His name just went from my head.
That's funny.
Vocalan was there. There was a few Archaea dudes. What's his name? The Bora dude, the Russian guy. Vlasov, yeah. So, and like everyone had just been back from altitude, I was like, the game has just changed, man. It's like you're not home anymore. Like all these boys are away, training camp, straight to Dauphiné, then another top-up camp, like 2 weeks or so, back on the weekend, 2 days at home. All right, love, nice to see you. All right, I'm off to the Tour de France now. So it's mad that, but
I mean, it's a solid lineup. I think I like the Sam Watson's there. I think he's a class bike rider. I always have. But just gutted for Swifty, mate. Like it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably his last chance to ride the Tour. He's ridden it twice, once with Sky, once with UE. And it's just, my heart goes out for him.
I was disappointed for him, because he would have been here if he hadn't had all that bad luck. So that is annoying, especially for me as well. Being from a really selfish point of view now, I started racing my bike with him. Us three, me, you, and him, and like to be here on my last tour now would be amazing to be alongside him. But
yeah,
that's just the way it goes, isn't it? That's professional sport. So
that's life.
But obviously his cousin O'Connor Swift is here flying the flag for the Swifts. So he's had a great year though. He's sort of like, he's just like one of those guys that's underestimated, I think, for a while. That's Swifty has really as well. So yeah, it'll be good to do this with him. Obviously raced the Giro with him last year. Yeah, and who else? Oh, Timon coming out of the Giro as well. So it'll be interesting how he goes. Obviously, he won't be much expected of him the first 10 days, but then, once we get into those high mountains, I guess.
Third week Timon,
yeah. But yeah, so I think it's definitely a strong team. It's just like, yeah, we'll go after it, go after, obviously try and keep Carlos up there, and then every day just look for opportunities, not be too crazy with it, not trying to do stupid stuff, but if there's an opportunity to take an advantage, definitely try and do it, and just try and race the race. Try and be aggressive at the right moments, sit back, gamble a bit. I think we got to be willing to lose to win, especially these days.
From the outside, I think it's a strong team. I think from a GC angle, I mean, this is just my opinion. From a GC angle, you can't invest too much in Carlos. Like, if he has a decent run at it, he can finish 6th. If he has an average run at it, he'll finish 8th. If he has a poor run at it, he'll finish 12th. That's the way I see him. I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, maybe he's flying. But you've got a lot of good stage hunters. Yeah,
exactly. And I think we've been so used to riding for GC, haven't we? And winning GC and putting a team all around that guy. But yeah, now I think we just got to be a bit different. Like, I think you can still support him, but it's not like we're going to be one line in front of the group, in front of the peloton, like, 50k out, like normally has been in the past. I think it's can definitely be a bit differently. You can still support him, but yeah, I think you can take a lot of other things from it.
And mate, I think it's going to be an ongoing topic. It's especially the whole season, but even more so now, the big who's going to win the Tour de France. And I think for me, it's a 2-man show, and them 2 men also have the 2 strongest teams, I believe. But yeah, let's just whack it, mate. Who's going to win the Tour?
Pog.
Agreed.
Yeah, I think just based on everything else this season, it's hard to see past him, isn't it?
How can Jonas beat Pog? Other than a crash?
Yeah, I think he's got a strong team, so you could use that in the mountains. But, I think it's hard to... If somebody's got that edge on you, got like 10 watts more, it's harder to beat them, innit? It's not like football where tactically you can still win a game if you're not as good. I think like it's so much more with the engine in cycling, with your physical ability. But I'm not saying there's not going to be a race. It's not a given. But yeah, Jonas, I guess he's just got that second 2 weeks, in the second half of the race, I think, in those mountains. Called the Laws in it. We do some big ones.
There's plenty of opportunities, yeah. But I think one of Poggy's strongest assets, which is something that's maybe underspoken about, is his ability to not fuck up. Like, he just doesn't make mistakes. Like the best people in the world at their given sports, they're very good, but they're just consistently very good. Make very few mistakes. Like, Poggy doesn't miss a split in a wind. Poggy doesn't make many tactical mistakes. So it's hard to exploit him. And when he's got a team of such strength, I mean, I would love to see 2 guys just whacking lumps out of each other for 3 weeks. But can anyone challenge him? The 2 of them?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, I think Remco can for sure. Roglic, I don't know. Depends how he's come out of his crash and everything, doesn't it? And he was on antibiotics or something, but he's been, you know what he's like. He's always going to be good. He's always going to be there or thereabouts. So hopefully they are close for sure, because it'll just make more of a race of it, won't it? But it's kind of like them two. Then in the middle ground you got Remco for me, and then behind that you have Roglic and Lipovic. So it'll be interesting how those two ride together. Then you got that whole bunch of guys, haven't you? Jorgensen. Who else is there? Like, you'd throw Carlos in the back of that group. All the names have gone out my head now, but I think it's a 2-horse race, isn't it? Like, if you're gonna, with Remco, 2.5 horse race.
Yeah, and the other guys, Almeida, teammate Yates, teammates Mass, O'Connor, Onley, Skelmos, Van Wilder, Vlasov, like. You are just going down.
Yeah, exactly.
Quite a few levels there. With the utmost respect to them riders, there's GOAT level, and then. But mate, let's just give the listeners a bit of an outline of what they can expect the first 3 days. I think for me, stage one, you got pretty good roads all day, which is good. There's not so many narrow roads in there, but you have got quite twisty left, right, roundabouts, and I think you're just going to see teams just battling for the front from kilometre zero. Just they don't care if they take wind. They just want to be at the front, take wind, stay safe. But then there is, in general, across the first 3 days, there's opportunities for wind, and it's been spoken about a lot over the run into the race, really, hasn't it? But yeah, mate, I think in general, the first 3 days is just wind is the big factor. I think there's stage 2 is Ardennes type day. Stage 1 and 3 a bit flatter, more sprint friendly. But in general, all 3 days you got over 20k an hour wind.
You know what that's going to be like then? Even if there's not open,
stressful.
Like even if it is open, but it's in the wrong direction, and then it's covered, and then it's like could be the right direction, but then it's covered more. And oh mate, those few days are just going to be like on you. For the 5 hours, full concentration. Like,
I think stage 1 has got the potential to be stressful quite early. Yeah. I just had a brief look at it now. Stage 1, it just does an egg shape, and the wind's coming across the egg, so could well crack the egg. I think, and even if it's not necessarily like full gas echelons, out of every village, be guys yo-yoing off the back. Stress, crashes. So I don't envy you, mate, but you can do this shit, so you'll be all right. Right, mate. 3 big sprinters for me: Milan, Philipsen, Merlier. I think Milan has. No, I would say Merlier has the worst lead out of the 3. The other 2 have great lead outs, but then there's not a lot to split them. Who do you see as the best of the 3 of them?
Merlier, if I had to say. I think just because quick step, aren't they, when it comes to Grand Tours and lead outs and stuff, but there's nothing to split them really. Like Milan, I don't know who I was speaking to, but he was like, I think he had a bit of a shock at Dauphiné. Like, it's not the same as the Giro. I think it's just that different style in it, that different racing. Is like the Tour is another level, but he's certainly got the power and the legs to do it. I don't think he's the most, out of the 3, he's the one that likes or doesn't like the fight the most, the bumping and barging and the finding his way through the peloton. He'll have a strong team, so hopefully they can keep him, out of that. But, I think Philipsen, Merlier, a bit more sort of a pure sprinter in that regard, But yeah, that'll be interesting. I think, like, even with them though, I think the green jersey Poggle still end up winning it.
Yeah.
Just like if he continues as he's done all year, there's so many stages, even in the first week. Mer de Bretagne, the TT, the day before the TT, any of these days he could win. So be up there getting points. But that'll be interesting. But what about you, Philipsen, Merlier?
I'd put Philipsen 3rd of the 3. And then very close between Merlier and Milan. I think Merlier. I'm tempted to go Milan. Milan is my probably favourite of the three, if we were to say who's going to be the most successful across the 3 weeks. His lead-out's good. Tons, Stuyven, Consoni, Thibaut Nice. A team fully built around him.
That's a good point, actually. With Remco and Quick-Step, it's a bit more spread, aren't they?
They're very spread, mate. They got Bert van Leeuwenhoek as like a proper lead-out man. And then beyond that, they got like just strong guys like Schachmann and Cataneo. I think it's a very split team. And then Philipsen, you know, he's got Ricard and Matthew Van Der Poel, who was incredible last year. But I think to achieve success at this level, you do just need a team for you.
Yeah. But to be fair, if you've got Van Der Poel in front of you, mate.
Yeah.
Like,
what else do you need?
That helps. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you say, I think none of them three can contest the green jersey, which is a shame. You know, I think it's quite nice to see a proper sprinter in the green jersey. You know, the likes of Cav, Greipel, Pataki, McEwen, you know, these guys, pure sprinters. But now it's obviously the point system changed and the intermediate sprints are worth so much now. It's a whole kind of dynamic change, which I think is a shame. And also the new green is still shit.
Yeah, yeah. How about the white jersey? I'll just throw some names in the mix. I've had Vauquelin, like, he could get it for a few days, but he's not really that sort of GC guy at the minute. But then you got Carlos, Lipovitz, Van Etveld, Lenny, Skelmos. I was surprised Skelmos was still white jersey. Only, Remco, Gregoire. That's a decent fight. You know, if you took Remco out of it, because Remco as well, like, let's face it, like, his build-up hasn't been great. You know, with his crash, and he's been fighting to come back. Like, we all know how hard it is to come back from a big injury, and like, he did really well to get back into shape in, when was it? April time. And to continue that and all the hard work and the effort and mental energy to do that, I think he, you know, to continue that progression is tough, but like, that's a tough jersey, I think, to there's a few guys that could do well there, eh?
For the purpose of this conversation, let's take Remco out, because I think he is the clear favourite. I would say, well, whoever wants to win that has to finish top 5. I would say Lipovitz is my favourite.
Yeah?
From that list.
Yeah, it depends how much he's got to do for Roglic, doesn't it, and stuff. And
Roglic, is he going to finish the Tour?
Yeah, that's the point, isn't it? Who knows?
Is he getting through the first week? I mean, I hope so.
With Lipovitz, I don't know. Sometimes you see some people in Dauphiné absolutely flying, and by the Tour they kind of drop off by the end. I'm not saying it's going to be him, but it could be one, you know. I think Lenny could be, you know, like with this battle, it's kind of like, you know what it's like? These are going to be, let's face it, a lot of people are going to be a long way behind Pog and Jonas. So breakaways, like one of those going to breakaway, suddenly they get back into the GC, they get back in a jersey maybe. There could be a lot of racing within a race here. Like suddenly one day you're thinking, why the hell is, I don't know, picnic riding? And you're like, oh, it's because Skelmos is in the break. He might take the jersey from Onley, or, you know, I think there'll be a lot of that in this race, which will mix it up a bit. That'll be quite interesting as well.
Right, mate, let's spend a few minutes. We've spoke about Pog versus Vingegaard. Now, what about UAE versus Jumbo?
Mate, I think they're both so strong. I like.
Mate, I was going to say the same thing.
Like, it's like choosing between your own kids, mate. Who's your favourite kid?
Alfie. That was a joke.
But no, I think, yeah, Visma was stronger in Dauphiné, but now come the Tour, UAE definitely going to step up, and yeah, I think it's 6 and 2 threes, mate.
Splitting hairs. It's almost become a bit of stalemate where they're both so strong they'll just cancel each other out, and in the end it's going to become Jonas versus Poggy, whoever's the best, where a team can only, I think for 3 weeks we're just going to see them either side of the road, just like the first 3 days, either gutter, just lining it out. Moving on, G, this is it, your final tour, number 14, you old bastard. Can you remember that one in 2007? Back where it all began?
I can definitely remember it. I can remember afterwards coming over your house. Do you remember? I sat in the back garden, and then we went through like who won every stage. It's weird. Yeah, just always remember that. Don't know why.
Yeah, seeing if you remembered them.
Yeah. But phew, yeah, night and day. But I saw some tweet that Valgren sent me actually today. He said, I'm the oldest guy in the race, and my first tour was '07, and the next guy in the race to race the tour was like 13 or something.
Yeah.
Which is bonkers, isn't it? If you think about it.
Who would that have been? 2013.
There'd probably be quite a few, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
Anyway.
Trenton or someone. Or,
Yeah.
but, yeah, mate. It's like I'm looking forward to it. I'm not getting all sentimental or anything. I've just sort of trained as hard as I could. I know it's the last one, and I know like we've spoke about it a lot, but it's not something I'm really thinking about. And I think it's just get into the race, do what I can, and then at the end of it, that'll be the end. And I think that's when it'll hit me a bit. But for now, it's so concentrated on the race. Like we got 25k an hour plus wins to deal with in a few days' time, mate. I'm not going to be thinking about stopping.
I don't think you can get too emotional about it either. Like if you go into it now and you're thinking, "Oh, this is my last Grand Depart, my last presentation, what number am I in my last tour and everything, blah blah blah."
Yeah,
it'll get the better of you, and you can't race 3 weeks on emotion. It has to be 3 weeks on calculated, precise. Yeah, a bit of emotion is good, but you can't let that run away from you.
Yeah. So just get stuck into it. Hopefully we'll have a good plan every day, just, with the boys, and we just do all we can do in it, and then end up probably crying in Paris.
I'm sure it's going to be a big night in Paris as well. I'll be out there, mate. So we'll have well, I don't know if I'll be allowed in the INEOS party, but I'll just sneak in the back door. All right then, but good luck. Stay safe.
Yeah,
see you in the
nice one.
gutter.
And well, I'm sure I'll be seeing a lot of you now, mate. Next few weeks.
Yeah. Oh
online.
no, I'm not, online. Yeah. I'm not doing the tour.
Yeah, the pods
online.
I meant. Yeah, not in real life. Like.
Yeah, we'll be banging them out, mate. All intricate details from the middle of the tour. It's going to be mega. Have a good one.
All right,
Stay safe. Ta-da, boy.
Ta-da.
Ta-da.